Hi everyone, this is Will from Sync2CRM, and in this video we're going to take a look at how to sync lead ad forms to Mailchimp, specifically any list in Mailchimp that you have set up or set up for this purpose. So to get started, let's pull up 4 different things. The first would be the Facebook page through which you're running your lead ads and lead ad forms. The second would be your Mailchimp account. The third, the Sync2CRM dashboard. And last, you'll want to have open this tool in the developers area of Facebook for lead ads testing. The URL is listed here, of course, on screen, but we'll link to it below as well. Okay, so let's get started. Here on your Facebook page, as an admin, you'll have access to publishing tools. We'll go there and scroll down left-hand navigation to Forms Library. Here is where your lead ad forms are stored. You're of course seeing now the lead ad forms we've set up here at Sync2CRM. And for the purposes of this demo, we have set up this Mailchimp lead ad sync test form. So let's take a look. So here's an example of a lead ad form, much like you're probably using, with a lead magnet or conversion piece and some questions for your user to fill out. So to get started, what we want to do is make sure that Mailchimp, and specifically our list, is ready to receive data from all of these fields in our lead ad form. So let's go to Mailchimp. Notice that we've got 2 lists here in our Mailchimp account. We're just going to be using the Sync2CRM Mailchimp email list here, but do pay attention to list 2, as I'll reference that when we're setting up a few things in the Sync2CRM platform. So we'll click in, and as you'll remember, we're here to set up the fields in our Mailchimp email list to receive data from Facebook lead ads. So if you're familiar with Mailchimp, you're probably aware that happens here in the sign up forms area and then the general forms. Okay, so we're on the sign up form, which is where we want to be. You may or may not be using this currently, depending on how long you've been using Mailchimp and for what purpose, but you may have even gone, if you've been using Mailchimp for a while, to customize this sign up form, and you may be using it in your other marketing efforts. Of course, anything we're doing here can all be hidden from the form, as you're seeing birthday and address currently are on this form. So again, we just want to make sure we're ready to receive data from Facebook. So we'll take a look at the fields we've got here and bounce back over to our lead ad form. Looks like the only thing we're missing is the "what is your favorite color" question. We'll leave that off for just a moment so we can come back to it in a later test. I will take a moment now to mention that there are some fields usually included by default in Mailchimp, such as birthday or address, that are unique in their properties. Unlike some of these other fields, we of course have multiple entries in the address area, street address, city, state, etc. And in birthday, we've got a very specific properties, month, day, that it's looking to receive the data. Now, this is not conducive to syncing from lead ad forms to Mailchimp because, let's just take birthday for example. Facebook records its data in a pretty standard format, month, day, year, and if we try to sync that information from Facebook to the birthday field here in Mailchimp, the data cataloging system is not the same and therefore won't provide an accurate sync. So where possible, we always want to change our fields to a standard text or number field, which makes sure that any data we receive from Facebook through Sync2CRM to our email list here in Mailchimp does arrive, and arrives cleanly in a way that we can use for our segmentation, automations, and anything else we're doing in our Mailchimp CRM. So I'll delete out birthday since we're not using that. And we'll also delete out address since we already have state here. Okay. All right, we're ready to create a sync in Sync2CRM, so let's do it. Here in the dashboard area, as a reminder, we have already connected our accounts, our Facebook account, and the Mailchimp demo account we're using today. So if you haven't done that, make sure to watch the video on how to connect Mailchimp to Sync2CRM and Facebook to Sync2CRM. Okay, back to profiles. Here we're going to create new. We'll select lead ads, of course. We're going to be moving data from Facebook, our Facebook account, to Mailchimp, our demo account, and click continue. In the background, Sync2CRM is prepping for that sync. And now it's going to ask us to select the specific form that we want to use for this sync. We'll use the lead ad sync test that we set up for this demo. And we're going to sync this to our test or demo Sync2CRM email list. Like I mentioned earlier, do notice that we've got list number 2 here. That's that second list in our account, which we set up just to show you that Sync2CRM is grabbing all of the lists you have. You'll need to select the one that you want to sync with. Okay. You'll notice a toggle here as well, import all existing leads. If in the event you've been using your lead ad form for a while before starting to do work with us here at Sync2CRM and using our platform, you may have leads already embedded into that form in Facebook's platform. If that's the case and you want to sync those, when you set up this sync, just make sure that's toggled on. If for some reason you don't, toggle it off, no problem. All right, let's hit continue. Okay, you will see that our Sync2CRM platform has already started to make some assumptions about how we'd like to map the data, meaning take things that are entered into our fields here and sync them with the fields we just looked at here in Mailchimp. So let's just verify these. State to state, yes. Email to email address, yes. Full name. Notice that it's used an option, split into first and last. You could, if you had parsed it in such a way, do it differently, but this of course makes the most sense for this particular sync. We'll leave it as that. Gender to gender, and so we're good to go. Again, just a reminder, we have not done what is your favorite color. I also notice now that zip code did not happen by default. So let's make sure we're ready for zip code. We are. Just a quick note, do notice that zip code is the zip code field type, and that is one that syncs quite nicely. So we do choose to use that one as opposed to a text or number field. So we're ready to receive that. So let's add that mapping. Okay. We're going to select zip code from the Facebook lead ad form and map that to zip code in Mailchimp. Notice too that an option you're given is the ability to have a notification email sent anytime a lead is processed through the Sync2CRM platform. This might be helpful if you have any sort of custom filters that route those leads to sales teams or other marketing automations you may have configured for your business. In our case, we're going to leave that toggled off for now. Notice one thing that is not uncommon, but something you'll want to pay attention to. Make sure to click Add Mapping after you've mapped the fields above. And that adds zip code, like we just mapped, here to the list, which are our active field maps. All right, let's click Continue. And in the background, Sync2CRM is creating that sync. When it's done, it lists it here in our dashboard for us. And as you can see, a timer is ticking away, and that is measuring the last time since last lead came through the platform. So let's send some leads through the Sync2CRM platform. We'll go back to our Facebook page and specifically the form we've just set up. We've already got some information populated here, which we'll use for our first test. Let's go ahead and select blue as our favorite color and submit. Okay, you're of course seeing here what your user would see after submitting the form, just like you did when you set up the lead ad form to begin with. Let's go to Sync2CRM. Notice that our ticker has reset because it noticed that that lead went through. We can also verify by clicking reload on our browser, and you'll see this number has now gone from 0 to 1. And we of course know why, because if all went as planned, we'll head over to our list, and where we once had 1, we now have 2 subscribers. And as expected, there is blue sitting right here, and all of our information has been mapped just as we desired. So let's talk about a certain circumstance that may occur. You may want to add fields or map fields that you have not previously, just like you'll remember we did not map our favorite color field to begin with. And of course it's listed nowhere here. So let's do that. Let's go to Sign Up Forms, General Forms, and add a favorite color text field, which it does down below. We'll change the field label to favorite color. If you use merge tags or field tags in any automations or personalizations, you can of course make the adjustments if you like. Again, if you do use Mailchimp's sign-up forms in other areas, either their landing page or you've embedded them into various websites in your ecosystem, you can of course hide these fields just like was done for others, and click Save, and they will not show up in those sign-up forms wherever they live, be it landing page or embeds. Okay, we've added that field. Great. Let's make sure to add the mapping to Sync2CRM, which we do by going over to this 3-dot menu on our profile or sync, edit. Sync2CRM is fetching the sync information. We will go here to our lead ad side. What is your favorite color? And we want to map the information in that answer to favorite color, the field we just added in Mailchimp. Don't forget to click Add Mapping. It's easy to forget. Try not to. And click Update. Okay. Notice our alert that things have gone through. So let's go do another test. Okay, now when you come back to test the second time or third or fourth, or frankly, if you've been using your lead ad form for a while, you may even run into this issue if you've done previous tests. Facebook only allows one lead submission per Facebook account to any specific form. And so because we've already submitted the Mrs. Blue from just previously, it will not let us get back to the lead form unless we delete the lead we've already submitted. So we do that by using the tool referenced previously. Simply click Delete Lead here on that page. And as long as you're logged into the same account here on the developers platform as you are on the standard Facebook platform, then clicking Delete Lead like we just did, and then clicking Reload here back in our page area will allow us to re-preview that form, and there you go. We're ready to resubmit a new test. Note that what we just did was delete the lead entry from Facebook's platform. We did not delete it from our CRM. It still lives here in the list, and if we needed to or wanted to delete that test from our list, we'd have to do that here because using this tool only removes the entry from Facebook's platform. All right, now let's submit a new lead. How about Green George, perhaps? George at green.com. And we'll change to male for some variety in the testing. Of course, we can guess Mr. Green's favorite color. And then click Submit. Great. First, we'll go to Sync2CRM. You'll notice right now it says 5 minutes from our previous sync. You can either give it a few seconds and usually it will load for you, as it just did, or click Reload. And of course, our data has now jumped as well from 1 to 2, as we would have expected. Over to Mailchimp to verify that things came through. We'll reload. And there's Mr. George. And as you know, because we just added the favorite color field, green has been mapped as well. So that's a run through of how to connect lead ads to Mailchimp. Of course, all of that prevents any need for manual CSV uploads, and it's worth noting that that sync will continue to run as your ads do. We hope that this certainly helps you get started, and with all of the field mapping, you can of course integrate that into any existing segmentation or personalization or even automation that you've set up in your Mailchimp account, and wish you the best in doing so. Feel free to check the links below for additional information, and happy syncing.